Chimigwech Minido Nokamis Nomish, Dayanam Dindamis Babagonis, Jawanishishin Nagum Dijagak, Jimino Nanadi Ludam, Jimino Wanda Niji and Ishnabe, Jimino Nana Niji and Ishnabe, Jimino Gano Gaji and Ishnabe, Shi Go Jimino Wijiwek Nishnabe. So I asked the creator to grandmothers and the grandmothers, fathers to look down upon me and to ask me to speak in a good way. I welcome my relatives here today. I asked to be blessed so that I can have good thoughts. I asked to be able to see good things in a person and to hear good things so that I can walk with others in a good way. And I'm honored to come here today and to join with you to help take care of the things that we need to take care of so that as women, as nurturers, that we, when we find our hearts so close to the ground, that other hearts will be broken open so that they can care for themselves and each other. And I thank you all for being part of that and for being relatives for this conversation that we're having today. Chimigwech, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Shannon. Okay, great. So much love and asking permission to move into this meeting for the highest, most divine unfolding for all. All righty. So I'm going to bring Soul in because she's the one who lit the urgency in my being the other day on a call. We had a call with 25 leaders about 4 days ago. Soul, can you give us the key points we need to know to collaborate and move forward of what you know from the Amazonians who needed us to help them, okay? And then I would like to go to the other groups working in the Amazon who have other messages also. So let's just hear what we know is the position right now, as current as possible. And I invite everybody to clear and send love while we listen, okay? Because we don't need to hold on to this. This is something that we are going to get through and move into healing, hopefully. God bless us. All right, come on in, Soul.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here and thank you for hearing the call. And I sense your knowing of this moment. Thank you, Heidi, for putting this together and understanding that this is what needs to happen. And this is what needs to happen. The indigenous of the Amazon have come to ask for help. They have many challenges right now, which are weakening their forces to continue defending their indigenous lands and the Amazon, which is all of ours. It's multi-pronged. They have the most recent corona, which is affecting all of us so we can identify. However, to add to that, especially the voluntary solitude tribes, they have very delicate, pure, I'll call it, immune systems, and the elders are dying at alarming rates. I've been watching since 0 and 1, and we're in the hundreds of deaths. We're in tens of thousands of infected in the indigenous tribe alone. And they do not have medical support nor medical supplies. especially because in some cases it's days away. But not only because of that, because, wait, excuse me, I'm just interrupting myself to know if we are live or just recording between us.
We are just recording between us for this call.
Thank you. The government is making it very difficult intentionally for the support to arrive. In some cases, I've spoken to people who say that they are blocking medical supplies from arriving, even when they do. And in other cases, they are blocking funding that is being raised by many people trying to help. So that is problem number one. And there's only a small area that's not infected yet, and that is the deepest Amazon. That is the voluntary solitude of the deepest kind, and it could be days away. But the minute it reaches there, I mean, we could still survive, but for the most part, the way about it is tipping point. And in addition to that, so there are moment.
Can I make the suggestion, Sol, that you turn off your video so we can hear your voice better? Because you're not coming through clearly. So yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Is this better? Maybe I'll move because I've
No,
done.
it's much better. Thank you.
Thank you. Should I repeat anything?
I think we got it.
You're good. Keep going.
So the fires that are currently happening in Brazil are not only approximately doubled in size from last year, which was bad enough, it's also being incentivized by apparently the government for people to start fires. And I won't go too deep into more details unless you guys request that at a later point. I'd like to stay macro and get to point. Well, the fires are not. Oh, so another point about the fire, going into more detail on that, is that now there's an area called the Pantanal, which are wetlands, which is really not supposed to be so flammable, but they are in an atrocious spread that they're not able to control. And of course, the government is not putting as much effort as is necessary to solve that. In addition to that, they've accelerated the rate of deforestation, and that's problem. Extending into demarcated lands, they are changing legislation and constitutional legislation, I suppose. And there are other things that I feel a little worried to go that far, but I think, okay, I'll leave it at that for the moment and continue to the overall point. The government is controlling the information that gets out from Brazil. They are controlling intelligence. They've got bots. They are making it very, very, very difficult for the locals to get this message, which is what brings us here. Which is why I think you come for a call, and which is why what next needs to be done is for you to then call the next people and tell them and invite to call, tell them what's going on, and ask them to call so we can tell other people. Because we really need to get a critical mass together to help these people right now have come out of the forest and are using technology to SOS And now their SOS, of course, many problems around the world, many people who need help in various levels, and many indigenous around the world who need a lot of help. But all of those people on board as well, because everyone is understanding one thing, and that's that every single living human on the planet needs the Amazon at the moment in order to survive. Otherwise, we go extinct. And before we go extinct, our children and their children will suffer. It is worse than any Armageddon movie that Hollywood has ever fathomed. And it'd be real. We have, apparently, according to the science, we are, if we succeed at pulling something, this we might have a, because of the amount of unity that we need in order to, needs to be done to help save them. And in addition to all of that, and that's why I'm really protective of this information and how it goes out, which is why we're forming trust circles, which is why Heidi, who I trust, invited you, who she trusts, and that's how it needs to keep going for now, is very dangerous. The government and the world does not know most of what I'm telling you. The government is also made up of some next generation, apparently, Nazi soldiers who hid in Brazil after World War II. And this is no joke. In power, I will not expand on that. The words that the people are using, the indigenous and of the tribes who are uniting in ways that's never happened in the history of the world, of humanity, because they're calling it an side, an ecocide. And we have a choice, and we don't have time. And so we need as many people on board to support. Number one is getting information out and raising alarm bells to the media. And one of the, I'd like to, I dare say, well, we need to think about how we reach the media. We are going to put them in danger. And just a few days ago, my partner's friends, sisters, was attacked. She's in critical condition, and this is not the first time, but it's since the last month or a year. But she's been attacked because she was documenting illegal loggers. And I do video footage and photos of whatever they could pass on to me in the meantime. But at this point, even interviews are difficult because they actually don't have time. They're literally fighting for that. They have to hide. They have to do there's a lot of danger. And we have an opportunity to prevent this catastrophe from becoming a worse catastrophe. And now we can do something about it. We might be able to prevent, I mean, if I have to, I mean, I'll use the scientific term, but and the reason why this is different than other things in the world is because if they succeed at weakening them enough, which is very close, then that plus the accelerated deforestation, plus the fires which are being incentivized in order to save money on deforestation, plus, and I'll close with this, according to the mathematics, we have 5% left of the Amazon that stands in order to save ourselves. And I'm working with people. I'm a climate ambassador. I participated in COP25 for anyone who that's relevant to, COI 15. I work with many movements around the world and organizations, and also scientists and leaders of different kinds. So I come bearing facts, and that's the initial message.
Awesome. Thank you, Sol. I also want everyone to know that Sol is an ex, what did you do in the Army, Sol? I want people to know about your military background so they understand how you're perceiving this, okay? What's your military background?
I'm a trained officer. I was a drill sergeant in basic training, and then also an officer, and was on the front lines in the Middle East. But I'm American raised, so I'm a Jersey girl.
Awesome. And right now, where are you? Tel Aviv? Is that where you are?
Currently, I'm in Tel Aviv, Israel.
Okay, perfect.
Working from the inside on unity and sustainability.
Beautiful. We love you. Thank you so much for sharing. We're going to come back because we have more. There's a bit of an action plan happening, and I want Sol to share. Thank you so much, Sol. Okay, yes, great.
The action plan that we're talking about, we're in touch with the indigenous there. I'm in who is the chosen representative, blessed by the chiefs to represent all the chiefs, and the Amazon basin. I do have a plan, and what I'm bringing to you now and inviting you to help support includes very clear plans, action plans, and that's just the start. After that, we're already united. We have a lot more work to do, but it's going to help and multiply the voice of many. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you. Is Liliana still here? Is there a representative from Liliana's organization still here? I don't see her. Shoot. I wanted to hear what she had to say too, because they're working in the Amazon right now and actually delivering the supplies. So here, let me show you guys. 2 seconds, because we'll get back up with her. And I know Chief Looking Horse has some, here we go. All right. Let me see. I know she had something she had to do. So I just want to really quickly show you guys this. All right. So they've been working for 20 years, 24 years. They're working on COVID response. They've got a lot of really great work going on in the world. So I think that they're a key candidate to interweave into the platform to drive resources and donations to, and to really work in circle with as we move forward. So I'll reach out to Liliana. I know she had a meeting that she had to go to, that they had to like take temperatures and prep. It was an in-person thing. So anyway, so they've got that going on. Okay, so Chief Looking Horse, I want you to meet the Black Jaguar Foundation. Hello, my friend. Come on in and introduce yourself. And please catch us up on what the Black Jaguar Foundation is doing these days. I know what we've been doing for the past decade, but since COVID hit and this has become quite a thing, well, this is very urgent. What have you guys got in place? Welcome to the room.
Hi there, lovely to meet everyone. So at the moment, it's been obviously a kind of figuring out how we're working and how we can support communities with everything going on. So we've just, in terms of our field work, we've put a lot of kind of safety procedures in place and trying to support communities. And also with the fires at the moment, so they reached the Aragua corridor region, which is where we're working in the center of Brazil. So we set up an emergency fund to assist the communities and landowners and indigenous groups with fighting the fires. And then now this will become part of a much longer campaign for next year to really try and get preventative measures in place to try and stop this kind of spread happening next year. So that's a big thing that's going on at the moment with the fire prevention. And then, yeah, we're about to start our next year of planting, which will be in November. So it will just be figuring out how we do that with COVID and everything, because obviously our team expands at this point. So yeah, and we're also building a new nursery, so that will be under construction soon. So scaling up to plant 1 million trees by the end of next year. So yeah, so there's a lot going on at the moment.
All right, we appreciate that. Do you know how much of Amazon is protected right now under the Black Jaguar Foundation? What do we know what number we're at with hectares or anything like that? How far have we gotten?
Well, the total will be it's restoring just over 1 million hectares. And then so the million trees by next year will be about 1,000 hectares. So then it's scaling up, so 10 million in the next 5 years. Which will be, just over about 10,000 hectares. And then scaling up every year, and then a total of just over 1 million hectares. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are mainly working on reforestation and continuing to revitalize, yes? And
Yes.
Heal and restore. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And we really do it in partnership with the local communities and kind of try and, so a lot of what we do as well is ecological education and just like kind of figuring and projects with the local municipalities and local groups to try and kind of, really incorporate it into what people are doing in the region. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So that's a long-term plan, right? For everybody. If you agree with me, please nod your heads. That's something we can look at as a long-term thing, right? Moving into the future. So we'll mobilize for the urgency now, and then moving out, continue to bring in the Black Jaguar and support their campaign as they continue to revitalize and heal. I'm going to try to come up with the groups. So it's like boots to the ground, urgency right now, getting funding into the COVID, getting funding into the support for the Amazonians, and then figuring out from there, we have to spread out. So next, I'd like to invite Chief Looking Horse, please, to speak to the sacred sites in general and what you and I had a conversation about yesterday. Would that be okay? Can you share that? Great. Thank you so much. We love you. Yay. Okay.
Mitakepi, apetikule, you chante, was there, and the petchus up. It's a great honor to be with you all in good spirit today. And I am a medicine person, a sacred bundle keeper for our nation. And we have a prophecy of our from our sacred ceremonies that there's only one prophecy. It's about the white buffalo calf woman 19 generations ago. Every generation is 100 years. And it goes back to, I'm the 19th generation of today. So being a sacred bundle keeper today, I never thought that I would leave our reservation, or concentration camp, they call it, on the reservation, Dakota Territory, our own territory in South Dakota, North Dakota. And we have a big territory. But I grew up hearing the stories of our ancestors and our prophecies. So I became a sacred bundle keeper at the age of 12 years old. And my grandmother, she told me that, she told the people, the elders told me that if the people don't straighten up, then I shall be the last bundle keeper, the keeper of the sacred pipe. During that time, the elders told me about what's going on, that our people were put on the reservations back in the 1800s. And there were concentration camps. They wiped out all the animal nation and the buffalo, starved our people, and then they put them on the reservation. They kill all spiritual leaders and sacred bundle keepers. So that was a time that my grandmother was the bundle keeper, and she had a hard life because our spiritual ways is about protecting our medicine, our water, and even the blade of grass is sacred to us because it has a spirit. So we do ceremonies throughout the whole year. We pray to the thunderbrings in the springtime on March 21st. Then the 4 seasons we do ceremonies. We pray at our sacred sites, and we pray with the Maniwichoni, the water of life. So in our treaties, it says that we own the sacred water, that water that we drink today. It's called Missouri River. But what's going on is there corruption, and we've always been in the front lines because we're trying to protect our homeland and our medicine. But through the Western world, the Western society, they always made their own laws to corrupt our people. And the water back in the 50s, 1950s, they got control of they made dams in our territory. And the most important place is called Chesapa, the Black Hills of South Dakota. And from the satellite view, the Black Hills is a heart, shapes like a heart. And that's where they brought the sacred bundle 19 generations ago, the spirit woman. And she left a prophecy that someday I shall return and stand upon the earth as a white buffalo calf. Black nose, black eyes, black hooves. When there's much sickness has come upon the people once again. And when I became a bundle keeper at the age of 12 years old, they put a headdress wapchaha on me to be a leader for our people at the age of 12 years old. And shortly after that, I had a dream. In that dream, I was lifted from my bed, took it into the sky world, and they had me look down, and I saw the earth dying, and people were sick. So I knew that I've always thought in my mind the way things are going. At the early age, I start talking about sacred sites. So the Black Hills is our sacred site. And it's all about money. The government, or they want to give us money, and the elders said, no, Black Hills is not for sale. And today, we still say that the Black Hills is not for sale. A lot of money involved. A lot of people died protecting our sacred Black Hills. Our people were wiped out, almost wiped out by massacres, that Wounded Knee. I am a spiritual leader of that ride to Wounded Knee on horseback, 1990. We prayed that there would be no more Wounded Knees throughout the world, because the heart of Mother Earth, in our prophecy, they told us that when they made the dams and stopped the flow of the creeks and the rivers from the Black Hills, it would affect our people spiritually. That our people would, when they start making those dams, our people would start having heart attacks. And the government said, no, that's not possible. But our spiritual elders said, you'll see. And from that time, our people have been dying of heart attacks, and our people are not healthy no more. And so in my time, I made a statement, but the heart of Mother Earth and the coral reefs, or the cleans the water, the blood, and the Amazon, the forest, to because they're it helps the lungs of Mother Earth. If that, when you start abusing that, the lungs of Mother Earth, it's going to affect the people. And today we have a virus that is affecting our lungs. So everything that we speak is global from our ceremonies. And the coal in Arizona, and it's going to affect people spiritually. And that is happening today. And we're very sickly people. But still, now we're handicapped by the man-made laws. As we took a stand at Fort Yates or Standing Rock, North Dakota, to protect the water, because they're laying a pipeline down, and all the man camps, the abuse of women, and it's still happening today. Right now, as I speak, we have problems on the reservations. We have to put up border patrol that's happening right now. So this is a very deadly disease of the mind is happening internationally. And I'm really sad today, and I am speaking from my heart, because like that lady said earlier, it's going to affect our children, and it's happening right now. Up in Canada, I was asked to go pray with my relatives, the First Nations up there, where that oil is coming from. And they're almost wiped out, because that oil, they're digging up is in the air, and it's very poisonous, causing cancer, causing problems, health problems, the babies are, they have sores, and this is everything that they're eating, the food source, the medicine from our the forest, the trees they're wiping out, and that's what I grew up a very young. I am a fluent speaker Lakota on the reservation today, doing ceremonies, but all the things that we're doing, it's affecting our medicine. And I speak about that because internationally, globally, 80% and of the food comes from indigenous people. And 80% of the medicine come from our people. But it's man-made, it's created to be sold as a product, and trying to give it to us to vaccination. And we don't want to be vaccinated like that. We don't trust the government. We don't trust anybody. So it takes a long time for people to come into our territory to work with our people, because we gotta trust them first. So we are, that people are saying we are dying right now. And people are dying from the COVID, the virus right now. And the young people are committing suicide. They want the way the life is going. And people are gearing up for the rallies that's going to happen right now, where it's not good. No, in our tradition, our language is sacred. Our way of life, living with the environment, is sacred. Before the reservations, before the state, all the rivers on a map, they're on the map today, they're very abusive names. But I was born when the elders told me about the rivers and the creeks. They have a very spiritual name, because there's no word for or English words in our language that is hurtful. There's no cuss words. So as a spiritual leader, I only use foul language. Have to get up in the morning with a good mind. And today, we talk about false prophets and false leaders, the corrupt of our way, the Western society thinking is not traditional no more. There's no love, there's no compassion. It's about anger, it's about hatred. And this was never like that among our people. But today, a lot of violence. So I am really devastated, because our ceremonies, the little ones, they were born with that mother nursing a baby. And then we go into ceremony at the age of 12 years old, become a young man or young woman ceremony, womanhood ceremony. The third stage is being an adult. The fourth is being an elder. And being an elder was 100 years old. But today, the sickness that we're faced with. Is where it's not be lucky if you reach 70 years old. And we went to Liliana. She was working with the people of Amazon, and she invited us to go. And we went there 2006, and we met right in the heart of the Amazon. We flew there. We did ceremonies together. We prayed together. And they look at us as a very, we had our clothes, we had clothes on. And they thought, no, we were civilized Indian. And they told us in our ceremony that there's hard times coming, like our prophecy. When I talked about that, they too talked about what's coming in the future. And the elders, they told me that I can communicate in the world. So they put me in a ceremony. They tattooed my legs and they scratched my arms and put medicine in my arms to be a voice for their nation. And said someday, you can help us. We know that there's a hard time coming for our people. I said, well, I would try my best when that day comes. And today, that day is here. So I made a statement back in after I made a statement in 1994 when the first white buffalo was born. I made a statement saying that we are at the crossroads. Either be faced with a lot of chaos, disasters, different types of sicknesses and viruses, tears from our relatives' eyes. 1996. Because 1994, the first white buffalo was born in Janesville, Wisconsin. From our ceremonies, we went there. And that's what they told us, that we are at the crossroads now. That earlier, 1990, we went to Baghdad to pray for world peace, global healing. Because 1990, like I said, that from here on, we're not going to be seeing no more honorable wars. It's going to be about money. We're going to see more wounded knees. We're going to see not only wars, but the trees and the water will be abused. So we went to Baghdad, 1990. And Muhammad Ali helped us from that to come back safely after 4 days being there. It was like a concentration camp that they put us. And it was really hard. They had people there too. But 1994, the white buffalo was born. 1996, I made that statement about world peace, global healing. Then we start working with people. We got invited to different countries. Then we got invited back to the place, Rio de Janeiro, where the people want to deliver a message to a big United Nations gathering there. And we went there. Our group saw all these people that walked from the forest. They had no moccasins or shoes. They walked barefooted and their feet were bloody. And they told us about, once again, the hardship that was coming to the rainforest, that they delivered that message. They want to deliver that message. And we walked with them that day, and we took that message into that place because we had passports and they did not have no passports. But they allowed us into that place and we delivered their message. So I want to continue our support to the rainforest, the lungs of Mother Earth. And I want to, like all of you are very important to this cause. Like I said, we're handicapped as Indigenous people. We need to, there's no communication that we did in Stand Rock. They blocked all our communication at Stand Rock. And there's no communication to the outside world, only through a cell phone. But I know that they are having the hard time right now, as it was stated in earlier. So my best to all of you to help us in a good way. Thank you very much. Hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Looking Horse. We appreciate you. And I know everyone here took every word to heart and spirit and to humanity as tapped in and tuned in as we are. And I took some notes. We started a campaign yesterday morning, an SOS campaign. I launched it with about 55 different groups. We reached about 125,000 people yesterday. I feel all game on to move forward with the SOS for the Amazon, for the sacred sites, for standing behind our Indigenous relatives in renaming rivers, creeks, and water bodies, sacred sites. So I'm feeling a number of petitions in a unified place. So as we do our SOS call to action, and I would like to invite every single one of you to feel free when you feel the call to make your SOS, make an SOS, take it to social media. I'm behind Soul's site on a community site. It's called b1.life. She wants to gather everybody into one place. There's some events that are coming up that she's going to talk about. But insofar as like boots to the ground action, voices being heard and being the difference in the world, it's been in us all along and we've been doing it in our own way. And yesterday, I hope you can feel the surge of energy that is coming in right now with my voice and with my call to you to action on SOS calls. I think that we need to start there and we need to start banging the drum and raising the voices of everyone we know so they can understand where we're at, because this isn't a wait 2 weeks or a 6 week or a year kind of thing. This is a now thing. This is a call. When spirit calls you, you don't wait a year, you don't wait a month, you do in your timing, in your heart, in your action, in your way. So I'm really feeling to invite all of you to continue on this journey and don't stop, okay, until we have reached the place where we know everyone can breathe again. Let's not stop, all right? Take really good care of yourselves. Fill yourselves with love. Feel the planet supporting you. She protects us when we take care of her, you know, and just let's just get this out into the world and get these things moving. So I suppose I'll just put up these petitions and then I'll give them to Saul to put on b1.life if she's okay with that. Saul, that's what I'll do in the back end, along with the I'm going to sing and teach. You know, I woke up yesterday morning after Yom Kippur and I didn't know. At the end of the day, I gave it all up and I said, let me know what to do next. Let me know how to be the most effective. And the following morning, I woke up and I heard, you have the song. I channeled a song from the planet in 2009 called One. So the message to me in the morning was sing and teach, sing and teach, sing and teach, and just keep going. So I didn't want to sing anymore for humanity. There's so much division. I didn't know where to place myself, but now we're back on track. We're working for the planet. We're working for righting the wrongs. We're going into respect, restoration, love, and care, which always was, but you know, now we're doing planetary, Amazonian, lung, water, our indigenous relatives working together with the sacred sites. Okay. Anybody have quick comments, questions, or concerns? Because I'd like to spend the last, we're going to be over. Okay, I say we have to call this at 11:11. All right, we'll call the meeting. We'll go into prayer 11:11 and be done. It's 10:58 right now. So, Saul, I'm going to finish with you because I want to just move into the business of what we're doing. Okay, and so let me just find out from anyone else in the room pertinent information or something you have to say. Okay. All right, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you
Thanks.
all for following this impulse, for following your heart, for following your body. And I just really want to invite water into this conversation, into this SOS, because ultimately this is a watershed issue. This is our sacred relationship with water, and that's why we're here, is we've forgotten it. So the more we can gather and just ask us to really try to be coherent in our message. And part of what we have before releasing to social media is the element of surprise. That if we can all just hold back and organize ourselves and then release, then we'll be a flood, right? If we trickle out here and there, then we lose our potency. And so really, let's be like water and really know that this is an SOS for the water cycle of the planet. What is climate change but the water cycle out of balance? And so really holding that and understanding that, I think, will help us align with our source. And we're gathering, and I'll let Saul finish in terms of how we're gathering, and everyone's invited to join us if you feel called. So thank you.
I'll just make a comment about that. You know, it's we are always in the act of creation and always in the act of expansion. And so as we move forward, you know, the first and foremost thing we can do unbounded without having to worry about the surprise business with humanity is sending the love and the attention to what we just addressed. Sacred sites, the Amazon and the lungs of the planet. And that's where we can put our energy right now, moving forward. We've seen amazing, miraculous things happen just by tuning into coral, right? It came back within 3 weeks from the tipping point of breaking down just by us turning our attention to it, okay? So that's the first thing we can do. We turn our attention to the love, the care, and the respect. Okay, who else needs to say something before we move on to a little bit more of the action plan? Is there anyone else that needs to speak? Morgana?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of reiterate what happened yesterday. Thank you ever so much for reaching out. And Heidi and I were actually brainstorming really, really quickly as to how we can really this tipping balance at the moment. It's just, it really, really, really is absolutely true. We're working on a campaign, Emergency Response Amazonia, actually covering, we're using the word Amazonia because most people will not recognize something if you say emergency response Latin America. It's what we found is, by the way, Heidi, I forgot to mention yesterday, it's Pachamama who is actually making us really super aware of what's happening with the indigenous people in Latin America. So we're focusing on, you know, trying to reach out to everybody. Isabel, Salette, Rebecca are on this call, so we're making notes, and we will let you know how we can move forward together. So everybody support. You know, I just always say one drop, but one moment of your time, and if we put all these drops together, put all these time, it's the most precious thing we have. Spiritual resilience is absolutely essential, but people have to eat. You know, fresh water is absolutely amazing. We can go on about cosmological ideologies, whatever, but people have to drink fresh water and eat unpolluted food. You know, these are the essentials, and that's what we're working for at the moment. So thank you for the spiritual support. Chief Arvol, brilliant. Absolutely. I love your World Prayer, Peace Day, brilliant. All these actions are really necessary. But at one moment, we need money. So I will keep in touch. Any way we can help each other is really super appreciated. So let's work together, and hopefully we'll see each other online even more so. Thanks again for inviting us to this meeting. And definitely, I've just noticed the Black Jaguar Foundation is in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. So this is just a fabulous way of just connecting people together, and we can connect and we can make a difference. So just to you know, make everybody aware that everything we're doing, it really, really counts. So thank you, Heidi, for or Heidi, sorry, Heidi. Thank you ever so much for including us.
You're
I look forward to seeing you on Facebook, everywhere. Make your voices heard. Chief Arvol, again, look at the global Indigenous network. Paula has got the address. Share your stories there, please do. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Morgana.
Heidi?
Oh, okay.
Heidi?
Yes. Rebecca?
Share, please. Please, I've given pertinent information in the chat box. Please go ahead and copy that chat. And I'd like to offer a prayer, please. It will take a moment. It comes from the region of the Amazon, and it is used here with programs here with Native peoples who have come here in my Salish Sea region. And it's very brief, and it is to protect the women and the water. Pachamama, Pachamama, al mio canzone, al mio canzone. Pachamama, Pachamama, al mio canzone, al mio canzone. Oh.
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 Thank you, Rebecca. All right, so I think it's really, really important that we organize to all share the same material, that we really practice sharing something that is united, a united front. We've done 20 years of this is my organization and these are my partners. This is my organization and these are my partners. Okay, that's great. How far has it gotten us? Pretty much nowhere. So let's try something else. So we did the hashtag SOS Amazon, and it's done. And we can chart our progress on that page. We can do events from that page, and we can see what people are saying about SOS Amazon on that page. It's everybody can have access to it. I'll give you all the information to log in and help me fix it up. But it's a international SOS Amazon, okay? And somebody else has SOS Amazonia, I believe. I'm not sure if it's Saul or who, but just so you know, okay? So if we could all stick with a hashtag or two and not go crazy overboard, and share those with our networks, that those are the hashtags we're gonna go out with. We'll put them on the petitions, the websites, all the same stuff. Saul, can you step in now, please, and give us a brief rundown of next step actions and how we can mobilize to support a united front?
I hope my connection is better with the video from here.
Okay.
I feel the need to say something very serious to this group that's shown up today. We are all links in a chain, and I am one link. I am not leading. Each of us are. We need to work wisely now. This is not a pretty campaign. This is not one person leading or one group leading. This must be a representation of all of humanity uniting for a change together. And I'm talking about life and death. There's a reason Heidi mentioned my Army background, which is the first time anyone's ever actually mentioned it in that way, which is fine. But I would like you to understand the gravity of the situation. What Chief Looking Horse spoke of strengthens the elders of the indigenous and the story and the coming about of us being right here, right now. It is understood that we're in a very different situation than even AIDS in the 90s. They have a plan. They know what they need. We need to listen, and we need to support their needs. After that, each of us is an expert, and we know what we need, and we will follow what the other needs and do what we need to do. But this is unprecedented. And I say that because my body is shaking for all the reasons, in order to say this in a way that you understand that this is not a joke. This is not a race. What we need is to be wise about how we mobilize. You mentioned Standing Rock. That's a beautiful example. You also faced challenges that we can learn from this time, didn't you? Including technological ones, didn't you? I was with you there however I could. I couldn't physically, but I was there. Family there, and I was raised in New Jersey. I was raised with the stories that your people told and inspired me for who I am today. Part of why nature was because of the stories that I grew up called New England. And I come from a generation of people who are sorry for what our forefathers did. And we have understood, some of us, and we want to teach our children better, and we will, and we are. But right now, we might not see tanks and bullets and missiles. And most of the people in the white Western world do not know what that feels like. But I do. And I don't need that in order to shake my existential being into putting myself in this position, in this conversation, in this moment. And my tone is seriousness. They have come to ask for help. And there is a plan. And it is not now to run to social media and blast it, not now. It is to do what we're doing right here now. It is to connect and collect a trust circle and to form a communication tool using our wisdom and using the technology that we used our intelligence to create in order to get this problem solved once and for all, no question, irreversibly. And once it starts, it will rumble so loud, there shouldn't be a human on this planet that doesn't know it's happened. And we will tell our children that we did this, that we listened, we heard the call, and we did what needed to be done, not regret what we didn't do, and not make mistakes. We didn't wait generations and lifetimes to be here right now to prematurely call to action. This is a very serious thing I'm saying, okay? And I'm sorry that I have to say it like this, but it worries me. And I want you to take what I'm saying as what I'm receiving as well. And it means that we have to channel that energy that you're hearing call and you feel the call to act immediately. It's perfect. It's exactly what we need. But what we need is to listen to their needs and then direct that energy to them, like water, channel. And the reason I am urging to say this is because they have a plan and we have a plan and we are organizing ourselves so that we can have the best possible chance. And there's only one shot, and it has to happen together. It has to happen simultaneously. Please keep going with your campaigns. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep surviving and keep doing whatever you need to do. You can help already, but they are telling us how. And you're right, Morgana, we do need money. And we have a plan for that as well. And we know where the money can go to and what it needs to go to. And we are prioritizing, and it's multiple strategy. And I'd love to share it with you. But I beg of you to, as they say, hold your horses and wait until the moment that we get the call. And you will know what you need to do. We will all know what we need to do. I'm asking you to help us help them. It's not even us, we need to get information out, and I'm happy to explain to you how that needs to be done. We need to get influencers involved and also to know when to act them as well. There are different things at different stages that can be done, some now, some in a week, some in a month. And out of those influencers, we need to make sure that they're trusted sources, that they really understand what is at stake here, because we're up against a fascist government. It's humans. We know that humans, we can be a virus or we can be the healers. And at the moment, this is life and death. I will be happy. I need help. We need help. We all united humanity need help, but we need to do this in an organized fashion, and we need to do this together. We need to, and we are, collecting the people. We need to get a critical mass. The way to do that is we are starting with leaders who have people who trust them, who that will be the most efficient way to use our resources. And if you're only starting a campaign right now, please talk to me. I'd love to use your resources and your energy, all of it. I'd really love it. And there's a lot of other people working with me, and I'm with them. It's not even me, it's them. But we're merging and we're aligning. That's why the thing that saved World War II was a global alliance. And that's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. I'm asking for you to join this alliance, and that we stand side by side like at Standing Rock, where we showed up and we stood and gave wind into their wings. Support. We showed up in numbers. That's what we've got right now. We need numbers, because they think we are weak. They think we are the minority. They think that we're stupid. But if there's one good thing that happened, was this educational system that we have to fix. But they did teach us in larger numbers. So education has spread, and we are here. We are the majority. We are fooled to think we're not, also because of algorithms and social media and what we feed our minds with. But we're going to get better at that too, because we are the majority, and we are actually going to be raising the bar on our actions right now. And this is a catalyst that either makes or breaks our future. That's it. It's about now and tomorrow and 6 months from now. And by 6 months from now, or so by Earth Day, either we have a celebrational party, or we have, I don't want to call it our funeral, but it's kind of like start saying your goodbyes. I'm sorry, Heidi, 1 second. I'm sorry, I know it's your meeting that you called. And
No, I want to ask you questions. I need to get somewhere with you. Can we get there? Can I ask you the questions I need to ask you? Mm-hmm.
Mind? Or if that's absolutely obnoxious, I didn't mean that. How's the rest of you? Are you okay? Can I continue for a moment? Thank you. If you need to go, please go. I don't mean to hold you up. I'm going, we're going to work as fast as we can, but we need a chain of communication, and we are setting up the basics right now by using what we already have, and later, and it's in the plan, within those 6 months, we should have a decentralized communication tool for all of us. And it will very much help every single one of us, including Chief Looking Horse. I pray that the day arrives that you will also see the unfolding of the prophecy where we get to write the end of the story. And the sun comes out, and humanity has united, and your stories and your voices have been heard along with it, for all the prayers of all the generations, of all the people who come before us. I pray that it arrives, because if it does not arrive, it means we didn't make it, and it's right now. And we happen to be fortunate enough to be alive, to be the humans that we've been waiting for, to be the humans that our forefathers wish they could be. That's what they try to do, is prevent. And now this is the 9th hour. This is it. And we have to do it united, which means hashtags included. They've got the hashtags. We need to put wind into their wings. We need to multiply and amplify their voices, and they are learning how to do it. They're doing an incredible job. I can't even keep up with how much information I have to share with others, that we need to share with others, that need to share with others. And that's part of the help I'm looking for. However, again, it's a strategy and tactic that has already been made. So I ask that, and I want to say also that we're only using this as a decoy. What will come as a result is infinite abundance for all. We will have food, water, shelter, justice, and harmony. And I know that deep in our souls, we're speaking the same language, so I know it's not different than what you say. But for one moment, we need to focus on this, and all that energy you're talking about that we know is real needs to go there, and just each one of us needs to be responsible for ourselves and make sure we can eat in the meantime, however that is. And lots of us are not eating right now because of the situation and whatnot, but even if it means that you can't do something you want to do, it's our responsibility to do that right now. We have to decide for ourselves while we're helping them. So that's step one, look after ourselves. And step two is this. And we will create a way to disseminate this information more efficiently. In the meantime, the first request is for you to do what Heidi just did and gather individuals who can speak to larger groups of individuals so that they can pass it on. And I will explain also how, like what can go public, what needs to be coordinated, synchronized. Okay, the synchronization is what needs to be very, like we all need to be on standby. And when we get the go, we go. But up until then, there is definitely information that you can share and disperse. But some of what I've even told you already, which is not everything, it gets worse, much worse. Even some of this information should not be told publicly because it will add fuel to the flame and it will get actual people killed. So we're dealing with a government that some of the information I've told you, if it gets out at the wrong time and they know about it before we've organized ourselves, they're going to win. And not about winning or losing. We're going to lose lives. And I forgot to mention before, this is the last thing, as was mentioned also, but the fact that Corona is killing people with a weaker immune, and namely the elders are make swift action, but wise, and that means together. For the first time in history, we have to work as a global community. That's all I really wanted to make clear, and I invite you to be in touch with me to understand that more, and I will be holding meetings and bringing them to speak to you. We will, but they're disappearing in every meaning of the word. It's harder and harder to connect with them. They're fending for their lives, and the world doesn't know it. So I ask that we listen to their needs, and we will know when to act, and then harness. In the meantime, harness, collect, okay? And even for that, I don't want you to waste your energy. You have energy to do a campaign or to open a page or to do hashtags. Talk to me. I'll offload gladly. There's so much that needs